Hello and welcome to an episode of Historically Marked. I am Jason in the middle of nowhere in Randolph County. Just kidding. But right behind me is some bluffs, and not just bluffs, but a National Historic Landmark. Native Americans once hid in that spot. And there's like 3 markers here, actually I think 4 or 5, but we'll find out as soon as we go over there. So this is kind of a short and sweet video about some Native American history, so come with me. Alright, so I am in Randolph County north. I'm about, I want to say 2 miles north of Modoc, which is an unincorporated community in Illinois. And this is the road that takes you to Prairie to Rocher, which is about, I want to say 3 miles that way. But yeah, a lot of people, they may have passed this, and a lot of locals I'm sure know about this, but anybody who has traveled this, I don't even know if it's part of the Great River Road, but yeah. And of course, it's changed a lot since thousands of years, obviously. I mean, these bluffs have been here, but it's changed. There's a lot of hornets' nests, lots of them. I've even heard that birds, what do you call it, a different breed, dangerous breed, often hang out here too. So I've been here probably 2 or 3 times, and the last time I was here was probably a few years ago, and I can tell they put up a new marker from the last time I was here. I think I'll start with the Illinois State Historical Society one. So this is known as the Modoc Rock Shelter. The layered sediments at the base of this bluff preserve a record of repeated use of 2 rock shelters by Native American groups from 9,000 to 4,000 years ago. The earliest groups camped here for short periods of time. By 8,000 years ago, some groups lived here for longer periods. Their tools, structures such as pits and hearths, and food refuse suggest a wider range of activities associated with base camps. Around 4,000 years ago, groups used the shelters for more specialized hunting camps associated with base camps located elsewhere. Research for this locality documents important cultural and environmental changes. And this was put up by the Illinois State Museum and the Historical Society in October 21. So that up there is the National Historic Landmark plaque. It was designated that in 1963. Unfortunately, this probably used to be a marker or a diagram maybe, and yeah, it's gone. But yeah, very cool. I mean, I'm sure it pretty much stretched out that way. The cliffs did. But what I'm going to do is read off 2 more markers that are next to it. I'll start with the one on the left. Modoc Rock Shelter is best known for campsites of the Archaic period, from 8,900 to 4,000 years ago. During the early part of the Archaic period, Native Americans camped here for short periods. They hunted deer, trapped squirrels, and gathered a variety of nuts in dense forests that were moist than today. Later, during the middle part of the Archaic period, the climate became drier and the forest opened up. During this period, some groups lived here for longer periods of time. They hunted deer, fished, and collected hickory nuts and seeds from wild plants. They made greater use of fish from backwater lakes than earlier groups did. During the latest part of the Archaic period, groups used the shelter more intermittently, locating camps to hunt deer and other animals. Unfortunately, that part's kind of hard to read. But yeah, here's a picture of a hunter that was launching spears and striking animals with much greater force. And then here's the other marker. The sandstone bluff provided shelter for Native American groups beginning shortly after the Ice Age, then continuing for almost 8,000 years. Periodic floods from the Mississippi River and nearby Barbeau Creek buried the abandoned camps, creating 25 feet of layered archaeological deposits. And yeah, this was definitely a huge archaeological site, and it explains more right here, like all the stuff that was found here, and like banner stone, freshwater mussel shell, tools that the Native Americans may have used, look like arrowheads there. Excavations uncovered well-preserved hearths, tools, and food. like animal bones, shells, and plant remains. Archaeologists, botanists, zoologists, and geologists studied these remains to determine how the environment and culture of the Native Americans changed through time. And then the shelter has a long history of archaeological research. Archaeologists from the Illinois State Museum and the University of Chicago excavated here in the 1950s. The museum and the University of Wisconsin at Milwaukee returned to carry out additional work in the 1980s. This is on the National Register of Historic Places and National Historic Landmark, as I showed you. Further information on the site can be obtained from the Illinois State Museum in Springfield. Please remember, it is against the law to collect artifacts or excavate at this site. Well, really, there's really nothing I can take. I mean, it's all pretty much dirt. I mean, I'm not going to whip out my shovel or anything. Although it looks like recently some people have cut trees here, but I'm sure it was probably the state that did that. And no, don't expect any nature trails, at least not from here. But yeah, I mean, it's... yeah, I mean, we can kind of use our imaginations on what really happened here. But yeah. Thanks so much for tuning into this episode of Historically Marked. I am Jason at the Modoc Rock Shelter in Randolph County, Illinois. Sign off.